國家未開放，食都食唔飽，特別係喺農村嗰啲地方。嗰、個年代嚟咧，即係兩手空空、赤手空拳呢件衫就嚟㗎啦。
到8、9萬華人，我自己出錢辦親人嘅簽證咧，我即係最少50幾個簽證㗎。我阿姑啲孫啊，我阿舅父嘅仔啊，咁我拉咗50幾人嚟咧，咁又拉一批嚟啦。即係個規矩係咁咯。對比嚟講，我做3年就冇數，自己有間屋住啊，有部車開啊，叫啲小姐做下咁咪算咯，細路仔有錢讀書咁咪算咯。
唔知由幾時開始，中國人就要離鄉別井。唔知由幾時開始，中國人就要流離半生。
或者喺中國有家庭，但係佢嚟到呢幾十年，太太喺中國又出唔到嚟，喺呢度都要揾頭家。
一個個流逝喺海外嘅中國人，或者無名，或者無姓，都曾經踏住遙遙長路，遠走他鄉。歡迎回到阿珂在路上的頻道。今天呢，我將離開多米尼加，前往中美洲的異類哥斯達黎加。哎，你先別急啊，在腐敗貧困的中美洲，異類絕對是一個褒義詞。哥斯達黎加為兩大洋之間的中美洲矽谷。1502年，哥倫布探索美洲第4季就在哥斯達黎加的檸檬登陸，但沒有找到黃金，只找到一個帝國眼裡無用的角落。信用將墜，他便撒了一個黃金的謊。而命運的反諷是，後來真的在中美洲找到了黃金，這裡被歸屬於危地馬拉總督轄區管理。1821年，中美洲獨立，危地馬拉總督轄區變成中美洲聯邦，但好景不長，內戰、腐敗、權力撕裂，聯邦政府形同虛設。1838至1841年，聯邦瓦解，獨立出來的哥斯達黎加日子也不好過。中美洲的宿命，強人、軍閥、腐敗，一個不落。直到1948年，一個叫菲格雷斯的農場主舉起武器，組織民眾發動起義，44天結束內戰。他把哥斯達黎加推向一條逆風之路。他沒有像其他傳統勝利者那樣打江山、做軍鑾、睡女人、搶財產，而是就地解散軍隊，把經費投入到醫療、教育、環境保護上，並在2年後主動卸任，還權於民。現今哥斯達黎加面積51179平方公里，人口520萬，人均 GDP 18587美元，幸福指數全球第12，成為中美洲真正的異類。2個半小時呢，就來到了哥斯達黎加的首都聖荷塞。這裡呢，它也是它的文化經濟中心啊，但是人口不是很多，只有45萬。大家可能會覺得中美洲呢，它是被2個大洋夾在中間嘛，可能是熱帶氣候比較的熱。但這裡呢，它是在高原上面，海拔是在1000的，所以說呢，這邊的氣候是四季宜人的。聖荷塞，一座沒有完工的首都，面積44.62平方公里，卻承載着100萬級都市的心跳。坐落在高原，海拔1160米，屬於熱帶，卻四季如春。這裡沒有帝國的餘暉，只有山谷裡自己點亮的文明之燈。有美簽或是加簽或申根簽的話，都是可以免簽入境哥斯達黎加的，奢華入境啊。然後這邊我打了一個 Uber， 然後去我住的地方，距離大概18公里左右吧，價格是4500克朗，也就是65塊錢人民幣左右。在機場附近的電話卡非常的貴啊，7天的流量是要30美元，然後15天是要60美元，Caro， 所以說辦電話卡還是要去市區再辦理吧。這機場呢不是特別大，但設計得非常合理啊，下面是到達，上面是出發大廳。可以看到，如果你要想等車的話，就在對面就是停車場了。然後打 Uber 也是來這邊的。Thank you. This is my host. What's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. 是一個2層的別墅。總裁，歡迎回家。這個房間的裝修風格呢，就是哥斯達黎加的雍容華貴風。這個是真皮沙發。總裁平時累的時候可以坐在這裡，然後抽一支雪茄啊。這個呢就是至尊大床， 总裁寂寞的时候可以叫上3-5个红颜知己，也是可以睡得下的。往里面走啊，可以看到这边是独立的卫生间，还有一个单独的化妆台，可以给总裁的红颜知己补妆用的，也是干湿分离的。这么一个雍容华贵风的房间，价格只要2张哇塞一个晚上，非常的复古啊。这个电视播放的是哥斯达黎加的风景啊。总裁，昨天睡得好吗？今天呢，我们来一个 City Walk。总裁可能会觉得这个城市的面貌，会怀疑这里真的是首都吗？没有什么高楼大厦，没有什么很现代化的建筑啊。但我感觉这里呢，是有点类似于乌拉圭的 Montevideo， 就是非常的宜居，然后生活节奏也非常的慢的。这里的常年的温度都在21度左右，而且是被群山环抱的。这里的自然生态保护得非常的好啊，水质更是很优质，就是自来水啊是可以直接饮用的，而且呢喝起来口感就跟喝矿泉水是一样的。可以看到街上还是有不少老哥的，因为这边的自然环境太好了，估计也饿不死。总裁，这里就是 San Jose 的步行街。因为这个整个城市的面积也不是很大的，所以说这个步行街在这里呢已经是最大的步行街来的了。总裁在这里呢可以把你的LV、GUCCI、爱马仕都背上啊，自然还是非常安全的，而且在这边的娱乐设施也是非常多的。你像在这边为爱鼓掌啊，然后 casino 啊都是合法的。卡鲁这里办电话卡呢是30天无限流量，价格是17500克朗，也就是35美金不到。而且在这边的大公司的员工呢，基本上都是可以说很流利的英语的。
好耐以前即係要親戚喺度㗎，
係
所以咁就過嚟啦，咁啊，
都係恩平人。
啊，
咁你過嚟呢度係從事咩工作開始嘅？
哦，以前做過雜貨啦，做過攤館啦嗰啲啦。
哦，咁你點解會有個咁嘅諗法開個舞衣堂咧？即係鐵打啦，再加埋教武術啦一齊啦。
呢啲係因為自己本身有興趣嘅，出嚟呢度都1年，嚟下咁覺得做雜貨好似
學生咧一般係本地人為主啊，定係華人為主啊？
一樣一半啦，依家一樣一半啲人。
一個星期有幾多堂課
？6節課啦，依家我算係2萬個啷啊！一個星期告1節課。我以前學過蔡李佛啊、合家拳啊嗰啲啊，喺中國嗰陣時，我咪少林啊嗰啲都學過咁。
都有去過少林寺學嘅。
啊，少林去過嗰度，嗰個師傅話我咧唔接收我啦，因為我嗰陣時應該係20幾歲、27歲。所以我去隔離嗰個武館學。
你覺得即係當地人嘅文化啦，同我哋中國人文化有啲咩唔同？
冇中國人想得咁長遠啦，佢想嘅嘢你明唔明啊？係嘛？隨意啲佢好似冇咩兄弟之道父母嗰啲感情嘅，你冇咁深厚，冇中國嘅人嗰啲啊。老婆都係一樣嘅，你俾你，我俾我，睇數好多時候係咁嘅，分開俾錢嘅。
有時候真的不需要真正去打的
啊，
你碰一下人家，是不是？
對，
覺得痛，人家就自然不打你了。
對，就比如人家這樣
不敢了
打過來，
對，這樣，
對
是吧
哇，你看，
對吧？
非常的硬啊。打得我自己的手都痛了。
所以你寫的東西，有的人說沒用啊，寫的東西，但是你寫了以後，不是每天在用，是用在衣食的時候，
對，
或者培養你的自信先。
多謝師傅啊，請我飲咖啡啊。係，即係哥斯達黎加嘅咖啡咧好出名啊，星巴克嘅基地都喺呢邊。这就是当地的科朗啊，这是最大的面值2万，而且客栈的质感是那种塑料的质感， 我感觉这边的钱设计的都是很漂亮，而且是用了当地的不同的动物来做代表的。像这个是，他们当地的鸟，然后这个是2000的，是大白鲨，然后5000的用的是猴子啊。这邊5000克蘭呢，單是$10左右。燒鴨、叉燒、燒排骨、燒豬，仲有鹽焗雞。叉燒係12000，基本上都係120001公斤左右。How's the taste?
It's good. Yeah.
Good.
The dim sum is amazing. I'm used to come to this place always, and I love the dim sum.
And how often you come?
Like many times. I don't know. Sometimes like maybe
1
2 times
week,
in
2
1
times.
month. Yeah.
Or 1 month, or 1 month, 2
Yeah.
times. See.
It depends on the hour. I like to come here like really late night because it's open late hours.
See.
And I also know they have karaoke.
Yeah.
And the karaoke is pretty cool.
Oh,
To go with your friends,
karaoke.
Yeah.
Wow. So you know how to use the chopstick, right?
Yeah, sure. My dad is from Taiwan and my mom is from Costa Rica.
最便宜的茶点是2300克朗，然后到2600、2800，最贵的是5800克朗。像烧麦、牛肉丸都是在2800克朗。是，多謝。总裁在哥斯达黎加的第一天呢，我们就从广式茶点开始啊，来试一下这边的哈搞，能吃得出来他们的虾仁是用的是鲜虾做的啊，所以一个地方的点心好不好，要看它是不是用了新鲜的食材。叉烧包里面呢还放了鸡蛋啊，现在有可能在广州都吃不到那么正宗的茶点了，当然不是全部啊，因为很多店为了连锁化嘛，都是用的是半成品，所以说味道都变了，但这也是方便管理了，一个企业你做大没办法。茶位费500克朗，服务费10%，所以这一顿茶喝了10000克朗，也就是$20。
Haciendo de por ahí cuando llegaste con el jeep. Decidiste parar, nunca me pude imaginar con quién iba a encontrar.
我在哥斯达黎加打了几部 Uber， 都是女司机啊。这是在城市中心的公园啊，哇，还有竹子哎，它有点类似于纽约的中央公园啊，但它是没有护栏的，也是免费开放的，而且自然环境非常的优美。旁边呢还是领事馆区，像这种公园啊，在城市上面分布了很多的，有点类似于深圳啊，公园的保有率非常的多。
Luego me dijiste que los más ya no traías y podías, si no me molestaba, ya que los dos somos primos y que más ya no trajimos.
麦当劳就是一个地方物价的计量单位啊，特别是那个巨无霸套餐呢，价格是4200克朗。这个呢就是柴油，价格是556克朗1升。这个呢是 Plus 91，也就是汽油，价格是6621升。然后这个 Super 就是95、98之类的汽油啊，价格是677克朗1升。哥斯达黎加中华总会历届华侨小姐，来看一下吧，这个应该是大家感兴趣的。可以看到当时选美的风格，其实还真的跟香港小姐的的那个化妆风格有点像啊。当然，审美这样东西呢，就是见仁见智了啊，因为美是没办法定义的。
You can call me Mariel.
You can speak Chinese, right? Maybe we can do a short interview with Chinese, right? By Chinese.
OK.
你可以简单的介绍一下你自己吗？
以前在中国3年，在江苏，我是英文老师。
So that's why you can speak a good English.
Yeah, I really like the Chinese culture. You know, the language, the food, everything. So maybe that's also why I'm working here right now.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really interesting. I'm really curious. Like, you have been to China. You stay in China, Chinese like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So, what's the difference between China and here? The culture, like.
Okay, there's a lot of different things. We don't use the chopsticks. Is the first thing that we don't get used to that. Second, I feel like here, Chinese people that live here in Costa Rica, is really different than the people that live in China. The
So-
traditional Chinese people, like I mean,
So what's the difference?
yeah, I feel they are so kind. You know, they are so friendly, and a lot of people doesn't know that. They guess Chinese people is so how can you say that they here people usually think that Chinese people is so serious, but I feel like it's not like that. When you go to China and you meet the people there, I mean it's amazing for me. The people are so kind, so friendly. If you need something, they will help you. And
Yeah.
if they can speak your language, they will find a way to talk to you to let you feel like you're at home. You know, Chinese people that live here is really different. It doesn't mean they are bad. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
It's also good, but
Yeah.
they also are from Guangdong.
Yeah,
You know,
I
like
know.
Canton.
Yeah.
They are usually don't like to speak Chinese, like
Okay.
普通话. You know.
Yeah, Mandarin.
And they want to use Cantonese, and it's really hard, you know, because they are so straight. Like we don't want to talk in
Okay.
Chinese Mandarin. So I feel like that's a little bit huge difference between when, for example, you go to China and you go to Guangdong.
Yeah.
There, the people wants to speak English,
Okay.
and they can speak English, so they can. They are more open mind, you know. But when they live here, I feel like that, you know. But
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's just the difference between
it's the
the
difference.
local people here.
What do you like living in San Jose?
I feel like live here is pretty good. Just a little bit unsafe, you know. I mean, like before, Costa Rica was a very safe place, you know. But right now, you have to be careful. I mean, if you go outside, you have to take care of your own things. Don't show the phone on the streets or something like that, because it's not so bad, but you need
Do you care about that?
to care about that.
About the cost of living?
The common people here, like for us, it's a little bit hard, you know, because if you don't have a good job here, you're gonna have problems, you know. Like
Okay.
it's hard. It's not cheap to live here, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I can say about
Oh,
live here. And a lot of American people come here to live, so the prices go higher and higher, you know. Because they really like our country. So I feel like this is not their fault, but usually it's getting like more expensive because of that, you know. In Spanish we call gentrificación.
so
It's,
like, so how much do you think to live well in San Jose?
$1,000
Okay.
per month, like normal people can survive. Thank you to listen to me in the interview. I'm also very nice to meet you. 很高兴认识你。
我也是。
And that's it. Thank you.
謝謝謝謝。
不用謝。
喺度咧遇到兩位老華僑啊，而且咧都喺呢度做過工商會嘅會長。
女哥斯達黎加音平工商會，我哋係喺2003年成立㗎啦，
係
成立到而家都有20年啦。我呢嚟咗呢度差唔多48年歷史啦，好多老華僑都幾艱苦嘅，見佢哋做啲生意啊啲嘢。同埋嗰個年代好多老華僑嚟幾十年都冇再翻中國㗎啦。
我舅父咧48年嚟嘅，80年第一次翻中國，又係唯一翻嘅一次。
我阿爺喺1910幾年嘅年代吧，就1921年啊22年年代之前嚟嘅十零歲嚟呢度嚟咗幾年，就喺20年代翻去結婚。由咗我老豆就翻過嚟之後就冇再翻過去啦。我79、78年我嚟咗呢度，我84年翻香港，翻恩平，翻去恩平沙湖。佢話解放之後，第一個由哥斯達黎加翻中國人，翻去嘅中國人。
即係怕啲政策前面，
政策啲嘢
翻嚟唔出得嚟。
因為咧，可能好多中國人喺嗰度整鐵路咧，就整咗鐵路咧，就喺火車路邊嗰啲 啲細嘅鄉村仔搭間木屋仔，就喺個落地生根啦，喺度開始做雜貨啦，都係喺火，因為當嗰個年代未有高公路啊，全部靠鐵路運輸，所以火車路邊一路沿住由檸檬出到嚟三河車個火車路邊咧，好多有華人嘅鋪頭喺度嘅。一間鋪雜貨入邊咧，乜嘢都齊晒㗎啦，包括飲酒、娛樂、生活用品、醫藥、百貨，一間細細間店仔乜都有。我嚟到嗰陣時咧，嗰個年代仲未有超級市場嗰個形式㗎啦，都係鋪頭買賣嘅。所以咧，逼住要學，跟住學好多本地語言。我個語言點講啊？即係可以基本嘅溝通都可以咯，同啲當地人。你話我哋又冇讀過書，冇啲咁嘅機會讀書啊，咁啲咁嘅嘢啊，咁就始終係唔及得上㗎啦。我喺我住嗰度咧係冇電冇水，乜嘢都冇嘅。即係你交通又未有車，去邊度咧就坐馬車。坐馬車或者喺鐵軌度整嗰啲輪嘅，喺鐵軌度滑行嘅，撳下嘅滑行嗰啲車去。火車寄啲批貨去一個鎮仔度，後尾去嗰度攞㗎啦。啱。佢唔係個全部有嘅，一個鎮仔一個批發道啊，一個比較大嘅鋪頭啊。咁咧，我哋係做啲小生意嘛，去嗰度攞貨。
而家揾食冇辦法啦，啱唔啱？
因為當時我哋喺中國都係比較艱苦咯，嗰時嘅經濟國家未開放，食都食唔飽，特別係喺農村嗰啲地方。
係啦，
食都食唔飽，咁啊睇下點樣出去。係啦，拼搏咯，都係咁嘅思想。我哋恩平人絕大嗰個年代嚟啦，其實係兩手空空、赤手空拳呢件衫就嚟㗎啦。係啊，唔同而家呢新一代嘅呢，一袋一沓嘢先嚟，
帶大把錢嚟做生意。
我哋就只係拎件衫嚟就行㗎啦，嚟到呢度。
所以嗰陣時都係一定要捱咯，有要捱咯。
預咗嚟都要捱啦。
但係依家都唔同啦，依家都後生嘅年輕啊，佢老豆有錢啊，大陸要背景嗰啲啊。嚟咯，唔爽就發爛渣，翻去啦。即係講成功咧，就冇同人比啦。即係知足常樂，即係自己有間屋住下，有部車開下，叫啲小生坐下咁咪算咯。細路仔有錢讀書咁咪算咯。
咁啲細路仔都係喺呢邊讀書。
我啲細路都全部喺度讀書，但係有好多人咧就揾路數咯，出國留學，搬晒咗去美國啊、加拿大之類啦。但係咧我就點講啊？都係唔捨得啊，同埋係另外咧喺其他國家冇呢咁嘅親人可以照顧到嘅，唔放心。當然啦，我身為中國人，我都好希望啦，我有個將來可以啲細路仔全放得低，我都翻去中國生活。始終咧，我點識講話，食慣呢度啲嘢都好啦，都唔及喺自己國內。
即係我打算咧，即係退休啊，一定係翻恩平嘅。我恩年咧翻恩平係買間屋細間㗎，即係到時都係諗住快退休㗎啦，兩邊鋪咯。
西人咧思想就冇我哋中國人啊咁記仇啊，比較樂觀啊，之後就咁要罪。所以呢個國家係一個快樂度好高嘅國家，因為佢啲人咧好樂觀，有錢使咗先，唔理咁多嘅。
還有老翻唔記常。
佢又唔記
就信我琴日去嗌，
但係交啦，聽日佢嚟到，老友你好。
我琴日去嗌啲高好，
係
交嚟佢送隻啤酒佢飲啊，佢又好多。
好開心，好好。就冇中國人嗰啲咁緊要嗰啲。朝早行出街，不論識唔識都好，你碰親啲鬼佬都會叫親你早晨。
早晨，係啦。
呢啲係好正常，
係啦，好正常。
你行出門口，識唔識有人行過？早晨，
揾有啲啊，
係啊，揾有啲啊，係啦，佢都會有
中國
就唔會打招呼。
真係你唔三唔識得行過，你叫聲佢哋乜嘢 short 嘅咁係嘛？
聽聞講咧，要8-9萬華人，中西一個工業城市，人哋生活水平係高我哋因為好多嘅當時。 咁咧，所以中國人冇人出國嘅。我哋一命唔同啊嘛，
因平啊係啲
咁啊個個咧即係話出嚟揾食，即係一個打一個咯。即係我自己出錢辦親人嘅簽證咧，我即係最少50幾個簽證嘅。
哦，自己出錢幫親人。
幫啲搞啲親人嚟咯。
即係我姑啲孫啊，我舅父嘅仔啊，唉，總之朋友好多啦。
佢叫得到你咁啊，我翻到去鄉下，翻去農村，好多人都咁。
咁我拉咗50幾人嚟咧，咁又拉一批嚟啦，
哦，
係
一個打一個咯。
哦，
即係我係因病人要嘅良好習慣就係咁咯。即係因病揾唔到食啦，嗌舅父借幾千蚊，嗌老表借幾千蚊，即係夾埋錢出嚟打工慢慢先還咯。或者咧，即係譬如我攞我姑啲孫啊，我舅父仔嚟咧，以前我哋即係個規矩係咁咯，即係我老表嚟我做3年，
即係
冇數，
即係個3年係
即係
學
當
徒
還債嘅，
還
當還
債嘅。
嘅簽
當
證
當還嗰
還
啲
債。
幫助啊，幫啲親
我
人嚟到。
依家唔係啦，
而家冇噶啦，有
早
冇呢句傾過冇得
早
講噶啦。
6、7年我舅父佢先嚟嗰度咧，
冇呢句講
嚟我個
㗎啦。
親戚幫手咧，乜到啦，打工還錢啦，到我打一年零工而家還清俾我啦，嗰2萬幾蚊啊！
係，就唔做啦，劈炮啦，唔撈啦。
你而家啲工資高好多㗎啦。
佢自己發展咗，我舅父嘅孫。但係我嚟呢度咧，幫我老婆打工，我係自費嚟爸媽嘅。咁偷渡過嚟哥打呢間嘅廣深嘅邊界，咁同我老婆打工咧，咁我老大佬嗰個關照我嘅鋪頭啊，賒數俾我做嘅。
哦，咁嘅。
所以我好感恩我老表咯。而家而家你做廚師啊，2000以上啊。
即係冇歧視啊，冇其他啲。
冇，我哋工商會咧，嗰20幾年咧，以前都做咯慈善工作。
呢個地方有水災、風災啊，即係啲大自然災難，阿發哥會組織我哋啲人籌啲物資去個地方派送電視台啊，跟住最後去採訪啊。所以對我哋中國人喺呢度咧，
口碑都好好。
都比較好尊重。我做老豆啊，當然希望我啲仔女能夠揾翻自己嘅人啦，即係起碼溝通方便。但係講下喎，你喺70年代、80年代70年代之前咧，好多中國人喺呢度，全部都係紅本地，基本都係紅本地人結婚嘅。
通婚嘅，係。
因為嗰個年代，你中國解放後咧，差唔多國家好少人可以出到國，好難好難。所以你實有個新嘅華人血統嚟到咧，基本都少噶啦。咁好多啲，好似我哋啲祖輩，我有好多啲叔伯啊喺呢度生活咗啦。佢或者喺中國有家庭，但係佢嚟到呢幾十年，太太喺中國就出唔到嚟，喺呢度都要揾頭家，基本上都係揾當地人。95%係當地人。
咁你哋喺呢邊咁多年啦，而家咧好多年輕嘅中國人啊，佢想出嚟闖嘅話，你有冇咩建議俾佢哋啊？即係年輕一輩嘅中國人想出嚟
嚟到呢度咧，呢啲國家咧比較開放啦，有好多娛樂地方啊，嘥錢啊，浪費啊，你又更加唔可以跟同啲本地人咁，今日有酒今日醉。使好習慣使未來錢，呢度咁嚟就我哋中國人嚟到呢度咧舞廳、酒吧、賭場，乜嘢都有，乜嘢都好開放嘅。而你涉啊、毒品啊、好賭啊，嗰啲咧，你係埋個頭落去咧就係永遠唔得。有好多中國人都係因為賭或者毒品累咗佢一世嘅。
這個是野生的黃鳝的煲仔飯，這個發哥的廚藝，味道非常的正宗。
Cómo disimular mi excitación, cómo bajarme el pantalón.
is Airbnb host Isa.
Isa.
and
Julie.
Okay,
Julie.
nice to meet you. And today you are going to
Central Market.
Central Market. Okay.
Let's
So
go.
today you are my tour guide.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's go.
Let's
Okay.
go, Pops.
Okay. Do you want to tell us more about you to the audience?
I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
So I live in this house around 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I started this project this year.
Okay.
I studied electronic engineer.
Oh, okay. Well, as a girl. Okay.
Yes.
Very
But I
interesting.
changed everything. I think we have to try new things. So I worked in solar energy about 8 years. This is for the pain in the how do you say articulaciones?
Okay, it's like a medicine, right?
Yes.
半公斤3000克朗，就是海鲜杂锦啊，然后各种处理好的鱼肉价格在4000克朗半公斤。
All the people in Costa Rica are very friendly.
Yeah.
You can just start to talk with somebody, even you don't know him.
虽然大家都是不认识啊，但大家都非常的友好，气氛非常好啊。然后对，靠得很近，然后聊聊天，吃吃东西。对
Living in San Jose, I really like it because we have a very close to the center, and we have very close to all bus stations
Yeah.
and everything. But it's not too many people living in the capital. In the center capital, it's not too many people living.
Oh, I see.
Almost all the people live around the capital.
Oh, I see.
Around the capital is too many towns.
Yeah.
So they live in there and they came to the center to work and shopping and everything. Electricity, we have escalate rate. So if you spend a little, you pay a little. If you are going to spend more electricity, so you pay more and more in blocks.
Okay. Right, yeah.
So
They
it's
have different levels.
for different similar for the water.
okay.
It's something
Understand.
similar for that. 800, 900.
Okay, you can live out in here, have a decent life here. Salud.
Salud.
Salud. 这是当地非常传统的食物，叫 tapatinco。它呢是有鸡蛋饼，然后有米饭、有豆、有肉都在一起的啊。总裁先吃。
Ah, bueno.
这个面皮都是用玉米做的，
Me gusta.
这一整片呢都是芝士。What kind of behavior for a man turn goes off?
Okay, I don't like the men. It's very,
Close.
very close and big.
Oh, you don't like that?
Like
Yeah, okay. And you the same? In a day, who usually pay the bill in a day?
some people think it's half enough.
Yeah.
It depends.
Depends.
Depends the agreement between the persons.
I mean the culture is different. In Chinese, usually the man pay the bill.
Ah,
In Latin America, I don't know, so I ask you the question.
It depends.
Depend the people.
Depend the people because do you remember this couple, the guy and his wife?
Sí, sí.
She paid.
What will people half or the man pay or the girl pay?
Now I'm not dating with somebody, but I like they pay for me.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
But if I have to
Chinese culture
pay,
the
it's
same.
okay. But I like that.
And you? Sí.
Yo le que si le gusta que le paguen la comida o que usted pagar. Pero dilo si. ¿Qué le gusta más?
Sí.
No sé, normal, depende.
I'm you.
Depende de la ocasión.
Sí.
She said depende occasions, so depende moment. The country is most Catholic.
Oh, Catholic, I see. See.
Catholic and Christian.
And you, Catholic?
I am Christian.
这家雪糕店呢，它是1901年就已经开设了，非常古老的雪糕店。你看到，这是它最传统的雪糕，放了很多香料在里面的。它口感是有一点点黏密，但是呢是有一点沙冰的口感在的，很独特，也是不错呀。配着它那个小面包来吃。拉德里像这种是合法的。Gracias. Sí. Yeah.
Pura vida.
Sí.
Costa Rica, pura vida.
Sí.
Eso.
Muchas gracias. Sí, chao.
Qué linda, gracias.
So this it is legal.
Legal.
You see. And the casino, some legal, some illegal. Casino.
No, some casinos are legal too.
这是当地的一家咖啡店啊，可以看到它的咖啡豆是现场烘烤。哦，这个是个中国人开的一个商场，很大哎。这边的物价都非常的合算啊。你看像这样一个锅是1200克朗。How do you think about the price in here? Like, it's good price?
It's really cheap.
Okay, this slipper like 2660克朗。Okay. And how do you see the Chinese brand made in China? How do you see the quality? No, you can tell the truth. Don't worry.
I think it's
Yeah.
sometimes it's a really good quality. Sometimes.
Oh, okay. Sometimes. Sí, sí.
Como la arena con el viento.
Hola, hola a todos, bienvenidos a Costa Rica. Mi nombre es Isabel y estoy aquí con mi prima Yulitza.
Estamos acá en el Parque Central compartiendo con Tim, tomando café, fuimos al mercado y bueno, sí, estamos disfrutando de...
Espero que nos puedan acompañar y que vengan a conocer este hermoso país y disfrutar de diferentes experiencias.
Bye.
Flavor, but I want to give you.
And the name?
Scas.
Scars.
En ninguna parte hay.
Oh, 看起来有点像番石榴。I see. This with the salt, right? Okay. A little bit acid. Okay. Oh, okay. Acid.
Drink we take in the lunch.
Mm.
And drink
Oh, the drink. See.
is from this.
Okay. Make from this.